Go on in.
These childbearing hips.
This is a joke.
Well, squidge up a bit.
Shall I get the dog
Can
as
you
well?
turn your body? No, the other way. I'm really being big screen. Do we?
This is quite outrageous. Isn't
Imagine
it?
why are you going round here?
Also, of all the sofas in the house, why did we choose
Is this
one?
the smallest one?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Green Queens.
The perfect podcast for imperfect environmentalists.
With me, Abby Dewhurst.
And me, Imogen Bogle.
And...
Me, Deep Bogle.
And me, Jake Goldway.
No, we don't need to confuse matters. But we are recording this with the Green Kings, our husbands.
Yeah, and you've been somewhat coerced into this situation, which is why you look so comfortable.
Somewhat loosely used there, mate.
I suppose what so this is a bit of a bonus episode at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
We've mentioned these people fairly frequently as we've gone through the podcast.
These strangers that just so happen to cohabit with us. And we've also found a very small sofa to squeeze our very large husbands onto. If you're not watching this on YouTube, highly recommend.
But I don't know, should we ask them some questions?
Well, we thought it would be nice to ask. So actually, for context, shall we go through what you do for jobs? Or not?
Oh, yeah, all right,
Your Green Kings, actually, you do actually work in the green industry.
We do.
What do you do, Jake Golby?
Professional husband, excellent dog dad, and yeah. So I am the head of acquisition for Osprey Charging, who are a charging network in the UK, specifically delivering rapid charging points across the UK. So I'm responsible for spending the money that they claw in. So I have the fun job. So yeah, that's about me.
In EV charging.
Yes, EV charging. Yeah.
Yes, good to know. Deep Bogle, what do you do?
I work for an investor called Oxford Science Enterprises, where we work with academics at Oxford University to find some interesting bits of tech and seek to commercialise it. And basically what that means is we try and throw some really smart people some money so they can start companies.
I find this so fascinating. So this is like people that are inventors and scientific researchers, and then you help them make their inventions something that we can actually use.
Exactly that, yeah. So could be working on a broad range of things, from everything from like agricultural tech right through to the space economy.
And why are you a Green King?
Oh, well,
Married
yeah, married to this one. So I'm an automotive engineer by trade. So started out at Jaguar Land Rover, and then went to join a company called Arrival, which was focusing on commercial electric vehicles, so buses, trucks, vans, that kind of thing. And then I went to a battery materials company which seeked to improve battery life or energy density by about 50%. And basically what that means is trying to enable longer lasting batteries.
So listeners, you can imagine the extent of our dinner table chit chat. It's actually so lame, but so green.
I feel oftentimes, both in the context of Green Queens and my normal job at Fully Charged Show, I get in quite a lot of food analogies to do with certain technologies. For example, the battery technology which you used to work on, I describe that as like, you can basically, the problem that you were trying to solve is that when you use silicon, it expands too much when it receives like a charge. So it like can really damage the structure of the battery cell, which is a bit like imagining that the silicon is Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
# women in STEM.
Women in STEM. But
You were right the first time, by the way. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Yeah.
well, so it does mean that all of my analogies go through my scientific advisor, which is Karen Deep Bogle.
Yeah, well, I try. I wouldn't necessarily trust myself to explain any real scientific.
A valid second opinion, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, should still go to ChatGPT though.
But use the water sparingly.
Yes, yeah.
But you two, I think it's probably fair to say, are very, very supportive husbands, and
Obviously.
yes, switched on the tiniest sofa in the house post 2-day hangover, doing the final bonus ep for series 2 of the Green Queens podcast, very kindly. But I think it's fair to say also that you are our number one fans, and whenever we've done a live recording, you've been in the audience and you've listened to every single episode. And so we thought it'd be quite nice to get your take on how the first 2 series of Green Queens have been so far. Jake Golby, thoughts?
Well, obviously I've loved them. I
Correct
thought, yeah,
answer.
So yeah,
It's a wicked wango card.
that is. Yeah, I thought like the guest lineup has been exceptional, far superior than what I was expecting, to be honest.
Stop moving.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorting the dog out. Um,
The dog who has been nicknamed Blockhead by Deep because sorry, what
She
are
has got a
you
little
doing,
blockhead. Look at
dog?
that.
I mean,
Hello,
she's
little
just
blockhead.
Yeah.
So
just
yeah,
been a little
yeah.
Sorry, yes, I really enjoyed the guests. I thought one of my favourites recently has been with Hattie Wimbledon.
Oh,
I
we
thought
love
she was
Hattie.
absolutely fantastic.
Not that you're desperate to try and get an invite next year.
Yes, if there's membership available, I am available. But no, I thought Hattie was brilliant. I thought the guest lineup's been fantastic. I thought that your change of environment has been very cool. So that you've done it down on the south coast, right? With the yeah. So when you went to the vineyards, I thought that offered up something different that I don't think you get from a lot of podcasts.
I concur 110% that me being at a vineyard is work.
Yeah. The pure joke that is a common theme in your podcast series, wine.
What have you learned from the podcast?
Put your money. No, hang on. What was I going to say there? So yeah, like spend your money appropriately. Like where you bank with. I think Triodos. Triodos. I thought that was a very interesting episode. More from like a shock factor. I didn't really realise the impact of that. So yeah, I think we're going to look at changing our banks, aren't we? But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought both series, have been very well put together.
Oh, you wouldn't dare say anything.
I'm absolutely terrified. So.
We have, I would say, received some constructive feedback from both of you, though, which has been. I mean, I'm not going to point it out because otherwise people will notice and they'll be like, "Yeah, you do that, and that is annoying." But what have been your highlights, I suppose, from season 1 or 2?
Yeah, putting me on the spot now. I think what I've really enjoyed watching is you've got a lot bolder in season 2. As in like you've grown in confidence and like the work that you put in is definitely showing, and I think it's great because like the quality of guests isn't similar to what Jake said. It's just been like really cool. And then I also love how increasingly unhinged you guys have been coming. And
know what you mean.
And in terms of like getting down to a vineyard and getting like wrecked on a podcast, and then being on a train and getting wrecked on a train.
It's the common theme and it's really embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully it makes us relatable.
I think there are 2 very, very significant roles that you both play, which people might not realise. Jake, we can guarantee you'll be the first comment on both Spotify and YouTube.
Guaranteed. And these emojis.
Yeah. And also, you always have an interesting insight that you're like, oh, it was really interesting about blah. I'm like, he listened.
Listen, I do listen. I pay attention. It's very good. And I don't just listen because you're...
We've got dogs in. That's Blockhead.
Blockhead the dog.
She's having a pure tantrum. No, but genuinely, I've like said to friends and family, like at the start, naturally, you listen because you want to be supportive and you want to like, increase viewership and engagement, whatever. But actually, now it's become just a regular part of my week where is she pissing on the sofa?
I think she's preparing to.
No,
she's
She's going to kick
She's
off.
gonna
any
bark.
second, yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, what I was getting at is I genuinely enjoy... For fuck's sake.
Oh no, she's that is so cute. Oh, look at her.
Oh, sorry. Just for reference, our dog is essentially digging on an armchair and getting herself really snuggled on a pillow, and it's the cutest thing in the world.
But it also could be, the preamble before the we. We're unsure.
No, I don't think there's a we.
She's already pooped in the house.
Anyway, so
Yeah, no, not good. Anyway,
you were
before being
saying,
rudely interrupted, you can guarantee don't dig on the pillow.
She's really beating up that pillow.
Stop it.
don't be careful, she's gonna fall off.
Stop digging on the pillow.
Anyway, apologies, Imogen, you're gonna have to edit this.
Yeah,
Interesting
sorry.
concoction.
No, that is staying in.
But no, you can guarantee that you're always going to get a hands up or prayer emoji from me.
Oh, you are so supportive.
But it's because I actually really enjoy it, and I've learned a lot listening to you two.
kind.
And Deep, your very important role has been, you've made at least 95% of our thumbnails.
Yeah.
So I often see you photoshopping mine and Abby's heads onto whatever it might be.
Surfers.
Yeah. God knows. Tennis players. What else have you been on? You had,
Surfers.
yeah, surfers, tennis players.
Yeah. Train.
You were on the train. I had to Photoshop David Attenborough in there somewhere as well at some point. Yeah, all sorts.
The David Attenborough thing. I remember that. It was talking about the ocean. But I'm going to really throw you under the bus here, Imogen. So sorry, but I remember once Imogen and I were together, and sorry, the dog is still digging quite aggressively. Anyway, she'll settle down in a minute. No, she's fine. And Imogen was like, obviously Deep does us a massive favour by doing those thumbnails. You're really handy with Canva. It definitely isn't part of your, life or job or expected anything. And Imogen was like, I just really wish that he would do it a couple of weeks in advance because he leaves it really last minute and it's really inconvenient.
Oh my God. I can't believe that's actually been a thing because she sends me the brief like the night before saying like, oh, sorry, I forgot to send you this. But yeah, if you could get this to me by last week, that would be fantastic. I'm like, what? Reverse time?
I think there is a middle ground here in that what's actually happened is that I've given you the brief on a Monday and then you've done them on a Thursday and it is giving me anxiety by Wednesday.
Yeah, because when do you start uploading it?
I do it on Thursday night.
Yeah, and then you've always had a thumbnail in time, haven't you?
He is a just-in-time readiness man.
Sorry, I just felt like I had to bring this up. Deep, do you have a favourite guest on series 1 and 2? And I will caveat this by saying that this is going out at the end of July, so there's still a couple of episodes of series 2 to go, but favourite guest so far?
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously Jake Golby. My favourite ones actually are of just you two, just having a natter.
Oh, I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah. I think those are the ones I enjoy the most.
Very
You know, we've had this conversation about you like leveling up expectations. This is a classic example. You need to manage these expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, we also, so the other things that you have very kindly done, when we went to Goodwood the other day, very kindly with Porsche, you carried all of our bags.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
It was very hot. You were very patient.
And then
Very
also,
sweet.
in a completely non-green fashion, but very... So Imogen, an automotive engineer, I have always loved cars and started my broadcasting career on Motors TV. So we were given the chance to drive a classic Porsche 1976 Targa.
I think it was 1967.
67, I got my 6s and 7s muddled up. And obviously we jumped at the opportunity to... because if ever we were going to use any form of petrol, it had to be on something gorgeous and classic. But the disappointment on Deep Space, because I think you thought that you were going to go for a romantic drive with your wife, and instead you ended up just filming Imogen and I going off on what looked to be our honeymoon.
Because I didn't know where you were at that point, but like I picked the car, I was like, oh yeah, that looks good. And then you come back and you're just like, so which one are we taking then? I'm like, brilliant.
Sorry, I wasn't even there. And I could hear that car screaming when you left. Like, I've never heard a car scream like that.
I've never been so stressed in my whole life. It was already warm that day, and like we got out of the car, and I was just completely soaking wet. It was extremely stressful.
You didn't keep you cool.
I know you did though.
Yes, well, for a very composed person, normally that was an interesting lesson that I learned about you that day. Is that actually you can crack under pressure.
I cracked because I was like, this car is so expensive, and we will crash it not because we're being careless, but just because it is extremely difficult to distinguish between reverse and first gear, and we're going up the hill queuing for Goodwood. This could be a total disaster.
Do you want to tell everyone what actually happened as well?
There may have been a phone call.
What were you expecting from the phone call? And who did you call?
I called you.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I needed other than rescuing.
Rescuing from what? The clutch?
Yes. And yes, that is absolutely correct. But what happened, as I fully expected it would, you just said, don't worry about it. And you were a voice of calm amidst the chaos. So top points.
Well, I didn't really know what I was supposed to do, but
back to being a little bit greener. Is there anything that you have sort of learned or taken away, or like a little nugget that you had no idea about pre Green Queens?
Endless nuggets. So I really enjoyed the most recent one, which was the wastewater one.
Yeah, Service Against Sewage.
Yeah, so really good chat on that.
That's really sad though, isn't it, to know?
Yeah, it was, but it was very informative. I thought she was an exceptional guest and super clued up. Like, I didn't know there was that much to know about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you knew there was that much shit.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the volume of waste dispensing, whatever units you want to call them, I think that's like, it's gross in the strictest sense. But I think that was really informative because she said something, or I can't remember if one of you guys actually said it during the podcast, that because it's not sort of it's not necessarily visual. It's not something. It's not tangible in the sense that you can grab hold of it, see the difference. I think that's really hard for people to palate. So I thought she communicated that very, very well. So that was really interesting.
And hopefully not palating.
Yeah, no, yeah, quite right. Yeah.
Same question to you. What's your favourite nugget of information or thought?
The one that always sticks with me is, and again, every time I use it, is 500 mils of water for a 100-word email on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it?
So it's made me be a bit more conscious of how much I use it.
Yes, because you and I do lots of research within a day, and it is an extremely big part of our lives in some forms, and it does force that, I guess, change of how you assess information.
Yeah, and I drink a lot of water. It probably annoys you how much water I drink in a day.
But also, Imogen drinks no water.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. So
I
I'm
don't
doing it
think
for
you
the
drank a
both of us.
single cup of water in the whole week that we were travelling to Portugal.
So I think I shared this information at the time. I climbed Kilimanjaro once, and it took like 7 days, and I drank a litre of water in that
No way.
time.
Yeah.
I did have coffee, but like water.
Sorry, that's not a substitute.
It's not okay.
You need testing.
Yeah.
And deep, meanwhile, how many litres of water do you drink a day?
At least 2.5 litres of water
What
a
a
day.
geezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
This man
And how-
is
and-
hydrated.
Well, not at the moment. Do you have a little nugget from series 1 and 2 that you've taken away?
Ooh, I would say I would have 2. I think the first is building on your point, Jake, that where you decide to spend your money has more impact than you realise. And that collective spend really sends signals to businesses, and you can't underestimate that power. And secondly, the value of starting campaigns locally.
Yeah, Laura.
Laura and also Danny Jordan. And there was someone else. But writing to your local MP can make a difference and make these big global things relevant on a local scale. That's a really, really empowering message.
It is. And to touch back upon the chat with Danny, she referenced an app, the Safer Seas and Rivers app that the Surface Against Sewage team have worked on, which is really cool. I got it the other day, and you can literally put like your postcode or your area or your local river in, and it tells you the last time there was a spill. And while you're looking at it, it also gives you 4 actions that you can do. Literally push a button, email your local MP, it takes you there to do it, which I think is so clever, because that process needs to be streamlined and made as easy as possible. Otherwise, people will be like, oh, I can't be bothered to find out who my local MP is and faff around with doing that. Whereas it's like, do it literally with this button.
Yeah, they have lowered that
good app.
barrier to make it just totally seamless and to allow normal people who worry about these things, feel really empowered.
Yeah. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go back and listen to Danny Jordan and everything else in series 1 and 2.
What's your favourite fact?
Oh, my favourite fact. I think the smashed peas versus, because Alan Titchmarsh talked about the impact that avocados have, huge impact that avocados have, and our absurd necessity to have avocados, whether it's January or December or whatever in the UK. And the alternative of a smashed pea does a very similar job to a smashed avocado spread on toast. And really, really nicely, I told you guys this last night, that our first dog sitter that we ever had, ironically called Cat, and saved in my phone as Cat dog sitter. But she's so sweet, and we haven't seen her in years. She was a student at Leeds Uni, wasn't she, when she used to look after Ruby? And she moved back down south and went travelling and stuff, and is just living her best life. But she sent me a really random WhatsApp message, haven't spoke to her in ages, just saying, hi, I listen to the Green Queens podcast when I'm running, and I'm on holiday with my family at the moment, and made them smashed peas on toast, and it was a hit. And it just warmed my heart so much, and I think that's what...
photo as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kat, dog sitter, for the photo of the smashed peas, and thank you so much for listening. Like, that's been something that has really surprised me, is that people who, are like one layer removed from mum, dad, Jake, sister, that actually listen and actually enjoy it.
And when people send messages with like ooh, I've just Googled Triodos, and it's super interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you so much. It means so much.
It really has been a lovely process. So the P info was interesting. I also really enjoyed chatting about Blue Origin was that series 1 or 2?
It was 1, wasn't it?
I think it was 1.
Series 1.
Yeah, that was
the end of
Was that
one,
one we
yeah.
came to see live?
The live
went to see
show.
live, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think about Katy Perry probably at least every other day. And I'm like, why are you back in my head again? Get out.
Yeah. So that was really nice. And I think I would quite like to do more of those reacting to the news episodes. We've had obviously an amazing lineup of guests, and we're going to continue that through series 3. We've got some whoppers in the bag, but we need to sort of try and be a little bit less chaotic and react to things that are going on in the news a bit more, I think, don't we?
Yes, and we've got some amazing people who are going to come and join and input into some of those episodes as well, who we think the audience will absolutely adore.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you guys had any wish lists of guests,
Dream guest, dream
And-
GQ guest.
No, this is not far from the conversation we've been having over the weekend around the sort of celebrity element. So I think, do they have to be alive?
Yes,
I mean,
preferably.
this is an actual situation.
Might
It's
be
not
a
hypothetical
difficult one to
situation.
dig them up.
Okay.
they don't have to be alive.
I was going to say, like, are we going ridiculous here? So like, if I said like Lewis Hamilton would be an epic person to talk to, and I mean that genuinely, because so he's got quite an environmental focus during like a lot of the campaigns that he runs and where he sort of the charities that he puts his money into, that are like environmentally led. However, the sport which he partakes in is incredibly carbon intense.
And we did discuss F1, didn't we? At some
we did,
point, you photoshopped me into an F1 car at one time.
So I think, given the prestige of Gwyn Queen,
Wing Queen.
It's actually
Green
very
Queens
difficult
now.
to say.
yeah,
we've
it's
discovered.
not easy. No, it's not easy. He would be my dream guest, but I realise,
Well, I do hear on the grapevine that he listens, and so
yeah.
hello, Lewis, if you are listening,
Louis H. Hey.
please do
Gives
email
Jeremy
us, follow us on the Queens.pod. But we'd love to have you. So Lewis Hamilton would be your dream
Yeah,
Green,
but I mean,
Green Queen's guest.
He would.
And we should caveat that he is alive, because you started that saying, do they have to be alive? It's like,
At the
Lewis
time
is-
of recording,
My
we
thinking
hope.
was, is this like completely hypothetical? Could it be anyone in the world? And the ironic thing is I'd probably still go for Lewis Hamilton. So I don't know why I said that, to be honest.
Yeah. Have you got any thoughts?
I'd probably not in an antagonistic way, but would quite like to see a guest who isn't so greenly orientated to set up a bit of a debate and see how that goes down.
That is
Get a
very
different perspective
interesting.
on things. Yeah.
Nigel, are you listening?
Yeah. And then just watching you two, because like it's the way you set up conversations are so eloquent and you like navigate tricky things. It'll be interesting to see that back and forth.
Yeah.
Can we stay eloquent and
And not cross.
no?
Interesting. Okay. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Series 4. Watch the space.
The debate show.
Yeah, but we hope that you, as listeners and viewers, have enjoyed series 1 and 2 of Green Queens as much as our husbands have.
Begrudgingly or not, as the case would be. But if anyone in the audience has any thoughts about guests that they want to see, formats that they love, formats that they hate, please do write them in the comments. We do read them and we do really appreciate them.
Yes, and going forward for series 3, something exciting that we are starting, as an addition to our sustainable business shout out, is that we actually want to hear from sustainable businesses to come onto the podcast, because we have been messaged by quite a few people saying we would love to get our business on the pod, but we just do not have, unfortunately, the time to dedicate full episodes to these businesses alongside everything else that we've got going on. So we are asking people to submit a 2 to 4 minute voice note all about their business, and then we will give that a great big shout out at the end of the pod. So that's going to be coming up in series 3.
And so selfishly, I'm like, this is great, because if all of these businesses sort of come to us, I'm like, great, I don't have to do any more research.
No
And
more research.
Christmas, here we come. I know exactly where to go.
Oh my God, don't say it. Christmas, here we come. It's July.
No. Oh God, what am I doing? We'll record the Christmas special after this.
Christmas Green Queen's party.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
should we leave it there and say see you in season
Series
3?
3.
Very exciting.
Yay. Thank you for putting up with this.
I had no choice in the matter, let's be honest. I was completely led into this.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me lead you.
You are always welcome.
And same to you.
Very welcome. Glad to be here. Thanks.
So formal. Yours faithfully, your husband.
Been a pleasure.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Green Queens.
If you did and you'd like to hear more, we'd be so very grateful if you could like,
Subscribe and join the Green Group Chat for weekly episodes.